Hi, ladies. Thank you, Beatrice, for everything that you do for this. Hello, ladies. I think I'm starting over here. I think I just got the notification. Oh, we are having some technology issues today, but we will prevail. Beatrice, thank you for reaching out to me, inviting me. I want to say thank you for all that you do for this amazing community. Um, we were having a little bit of challenges, everybody, and unfortunately, Beatrice and I cannot be here together. So she did an introduction, and now here I am live. And I'm here today to talk and speak with you about the the mindset, the inner critic, and I also call her a hag in the attic because sometimes she cannot be very nice. Actually, most of the time she cannot be very nice. So I begin here today, this afternoon, is what we think is what we believe. What we think is what we believe. Then those become our actions. So what we think is what we believe, and then those become our actions. When actually, our emotions, our heart is what our true essence of power is, and that's where we need to be living every single day. If we follow our heart, our true intuition, we will not get back up into our heads and make decisions that will make us unhappy. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So we're going to go here for quite a little bit of time, and I'm going to ask if you have any comments. Go ahead and put them in the stream. I think you can do that real quickly. Let me double check, and let me set things here so that people can comment. So our inner critic, she can be our worst enemy, when in fact we can make her our ally and go to work for us. We really truly can. She has a lot of best friends that keep us at bay, and I'm going to talk about some of those best friends. So our inner critic has this big, huge team. Like I said, best friends, I like to call them. She has besties. And bestie number one, and there's a lot of them. Bestie number one. And I'm going to be very transparent here. I'm working off on an outline so I can stay task at hand. I'm a little off because we were having some technology issues before we came live, but we are women and we will prevail. We always, always prevail. So let's begin. Our inner critic sits upstairs and she is like our sleeping guard. She always, always, always is awake, never truly goes to sleep. And at any given time, she can come barreling down the stairs and take things over. And quite frankly, that is what we have taught her our whole adult lives. If we have given her the power to take over our lives, when in fact, we need to be managing her. And please, ladies, my language is our inner critic has controlled us. We need to manage her and tell her what to do, give her boundaries, give her a job description. And one of the biggest job descriptions is managing our whole emotional team so they don't overcome us, keep us small, hold us back, procrastinate, tell us things that aren't true. So our inner critic, again, likes to keep us small. So number one, her best friend, bestie number one, is the comparison. How many of you have compared? How many of you have compared, oh, I'm not as successful as my next friend here. Oh, I'm not as successful as the people that I see on Facebook. Oh, I'm not as successful and they are much happier than I am. I know I've compared. When we compare, we dig away at our confidence. When we compare, we just chip away. We chip away more and more at our confidence. And ladies, I hear all my clients come in, I want to have confidence. I want to have confidence. I will tell you, you have confidence. We need to enhance it. We need to strengthen it. We need to work it every single day. But when we compare, we take away from that confidence. We give our power away when we compare. And by the way, I see someone has jumped in and said, oh, true on the comparison. Thank you, Nancy. When we go out there and compare, first of all, I'm going to say this right here. We never know what is going on with that person behind their closed doors, in their yard, in their life. We have no idea. And a lot of times people will show up, especially on the screen here on social media, and will post things that may look differently than truth is. So we compare and we take away our confidence. The confidence and courage are my two favorite C words, and the comparison really robs us of that. When we start comparing, we are looking outside of ourselves as opposed to coming back inside of ourselves. By the way, excuse the old cliche of the movie here that took place in America many, many years ago, The Wizard of Oz. And the Dorothy had those beautiful ruby red slippers on, and she kept clicking them. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And there is no place like home. All the answers stand within inside of us. And of course, a higher power. Now, these are not facts. These are my beliefs and these are my opinions, and they work every time for me. So I encourage you, when you go into a comparison mode, is to be able to step back, take a time out, breathe, and I'll go over some more of these tips with you as well. And turn in and ask yourself, what is truth here? What is really the truth? We are all unique. We are all unique individuals. But yet, we're willing to give that up to compare. You know what? I'm going to say that one more time. We are all unique individuals, and we give that up to compare. And there's no one else there like us out there. Nobody. Thank goodness. That's our beautiful uniqueness. So again, that comparing. You want to be very, very, very careful. Streaming through LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all those social media platforms. We really, truly do not know the true story behind all of that. So the other best friend of our inner critic is OPOs, other people's opinions. Oh my goodness gracious. How many of you out there live around other people's opinions? I know I do. It's interesting because other people's opinions, it could be anything from a compliment like, oh, I love your sweater, Kim, or hey, it could be a critique. Everything is another person's opinion. And we take that on. We wear that like it's the most secured, warm, nurturing blanket. And other people's opinions, quite frankly, have no weight. No weight. They are sitting way, way, way up in the bleachers of an arena, and we give them full carte blanche of opinions of our lives, opinions of our businesses, opinions of how we should be raising our children. And if you notice a word I said in there, should, how we should be raising our children, how we should be living, how we should be sitting, how we should be standing, how we should be acting, for we are women. Those shoulds keep us small, hold us back, and bias into other people's opinions. One of my things that I do as a business owner, I ask for testimonies from clients. And at one time, I used to really hold tight and true to these testimonies. But it's a testimony that is coming from the other person's experience. If any of you have read the book, The Four Agreements, and I cannot remember the author's name, and if you get an opportunity, order the book. It's a very small book. There's 4 agreements. The second agreement is do not take things personally. Now, I don't know about any of you listening today, or any of you that are going to listen to the replay. That is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And some days it's second to second, moment to moment. Some days I don't even worry about taking things personally. It's a hard thing. But when we get a testimony for our business or a testimony for our service, that is that other person's experience. That is their opinion, what they are saying. Other people's opinions. We can either buy into them or we can let them go. One of the things, in fact, I was doing scriptures this morning with my cup of coffee, nice and early, and one of the things I had read was when people say things to you, for an example, "Oh, Susan, you need to become more authentic, more transparent, more whatever." When someone says anything like that to me, I take that is what they are reflecting themselves on. This is what they're struggling with or having challenges with or moving through. Ladies, I'm going to tell you, it's a hard thing to do, to put on that armor, that beautiful armor. But when someone does say that, it's the reflections of themselves, other people's opinions. Okay, the other best friend. Are we all, okay, lean in, listen up. Here's the other bestie of the inner critic. You. We get in our own way of ourselves, of our true heart's desires. We become so uncomfortable with ourselves, which leads us to dis-ease of being us, leading into disease. Now, I'm not a doctor, so here's the disease I want to talk about. Depression, anxiety, perfectionism. I'm a recovering perfectionist, and I'll never totally be recovered from it. But these words, these things that we say to us have power. Another thing I like to say is words can either harm or they can heal. And the harming and the heal begins within ourselves. And whatever it is that we say and that we do to ourselves, trust me, it comes out there. It does come out into society. So you can be the biggest detriment to yourself. And I'm going to come back to the perfectionism thing here because, like I said, I'm a recovering perfectionist. Perfection eludes us from our true happiness. Perfectionism keeps us from accepting ourselves in this moment, right here and now. All the things that we have done that have been fantastic, that have been great, that have been enormous and ginormous. But when we live in a perfectionism type world and environment, thoughts of ourselves, we will never achieve our goals because, again, we're working towards these goals. And if you're in the perfection mode, you will not achieve that goal until it is perfect. And by the way, it is never perfect. We will never accept ourselves for all the fantastic, great things that we have done because perfection does not allow that. We will never turn and surrender to others, to connect, get our messages out there, because perfection does not allow us to do it. So you, Y-O-U, is one of the biggest, best friends of the inner critic, aka the hag in the attic. And that holds us back hugely. Okay, I have some more besties here of the inner critic. Self-doubt, and oh my goodness, self-doubt. Self-doubt is the amplifier to fear. That self-doubt perks up because she's partnering with that inner critic, and then fear just succumbs, grows, gets larger, huge, and overcomes us. Then we hold back. We maybe crawl into bed, pull the covers up over our heads, and say, that's it, I can't do it. When quite frankly, again, we are miraculous human beings, and we can really take on anything we want to take on. We make things work. Like today, this Facebook Live, we are making things work. We struggled at it, we worked through, we attempted, we asked questions, we did what we had to do. We make things work. Now, is it working out the way that we want this Facebook Live to work? No, but it works. Messages will still get across. Connections will still be made. Beautiful women are showing up. And by the way, please, ladies, get on that chat, make the comments, go, please get on there and start making comments. And I will leave some time at the end of this to answer any questions, any comments, anything. And yes, self-doubt is an amplifier to not set us back, but is the amplifier to fear. I want to talk a little bit about this. Self-doubt looks like this. Well, what happens if? Well, what happens if I do this? It could go wrong. I'm going to do this, but I think I'll sit back here and ask all these questions of myself. And then by the time we're done, we're exhausted and we don't move forward on it. A big, huge best friend of that inner critic. Fear and self-doubt lead us to believe the risk associated with doing something, I'm citing this by the way, is greater than the risk of remaining in our current situation. Self-doubt holds us back from change. Self-doubt holds us back from our self-essence of being so powerfully filled. Self-doubt will hold us back. Okay, the other bestie that I want to introduce and talk about today is the self-worth. Self-worth, and that other is one of the other best friends of the inner critic. Self-worth is who your true being is and not what you are doing. And I know we are a doing society. You know, hi, how are you? I'm busy. Okay. Hi, what's going on? Well, I'm doing errands and fixing dinner for the kids, and I'm getting ready to go to work. Doing. We have become such a doing society, we forget what it's like to be being. So then our self-worth is measured on all that busyness and that doing. And then we pull out the dollar bill and we put a price tag to that self-worth. Our thoughts, feelings, behaviors, they're so intimately tied to how we view our worthiness and our value. As a human doer, not a human being. When in fact, all our worth truly is tied to our true being. Self-worth. Another best friend of the inner critic is the self-esteem. Ladies, self-esteem is the self-estimate. It's the self-estimate of what we have of us. The self-estimate. It's how we estimate ourselves. It's how we look at ourselves. It's how we drive to go to church and I'm not dressed enough. I'm not good enough. It's how we go to work and, oh, are they going to fire me today? It's how we look at our children. I'm not feeling like I'm being a good enough parent. It's the estimate of where we put ourselves. So then hence we pull down that esteem. We take away from our self-esteem, which is all chipping away at our greatness, our goodness, our confidence, and our true belief of what we actually feel inside. So there's a difference here. One of the things I like to do is I like to teach women how to come back into their bodies. We are such an in our head society. So when we are in our heads, that's where the fear starts popping up. That's where the lack of confidence starts popping up. That's where the self-esteem starts diminishing, the self-worth, the value, the imposter syndrome. We put that imposter syndrome on like it's a beautiful, beautiful, colorful suit. And we would like to wear that proud, that imposter syndrome. We get in our heads and say, I don't have enough degrees, or I'm not smart enough to be sitting at this table because I didn't go to school. Ladies, when we are up in our head, in our heads, vibrating here and not down here in our true heart's desire, we will show up with lack. When I'm going to say this, and please, ladies, hear me. Each and every one of you have a story, and each and every one of you deserve a seat at the table. Whether you finish school or not, whether you have excelled onto higher degrees, whether you have been managing a home, whether you have experienced loss, gains, whether you are a mother or not, the end of the day, you are a powerful woman and an amazing human being. And you deserve a seat at that table. And you have a story to tell. And other women are waiting to hear from you, because this is how we learn. So what can we do to help manage that inner critic? Because I don't want that inner critic to be our enemy. I don't want that inner critic to constantly keep taking us down. And by the way, the inner critic never goes away. My inner critic is sitting on my desk as I'm speaking and doing this Facebook Live. I've given her a name and I've given her a persona, and it makes these conversations to have with her a lot easier. Our inner critic, we cannot shut off. Our inner critic, we cannot kick out, because our inner critic will come back a lot bigger. And that's one of the last things we want from our inner critic. So the first place that I like to begin to help manage the inner critic is self-compassion. How many of you, when was the last time you took a moment and paused and told yourself how amazing you are, and said the words, I love you? Let me ask that question again. When was the last time you told yourself how fantastic you are, how great you are? When was the last time you said, I love you to yourself? Self-compassion. Ladies, one thing that we love to do is really be very self-critical. Those thoughts, those comments are not true. Words, like I said earlier, words can harm or heal. So either we can heal ourselves and turn to reach out and help heal the world, which is, by the way, we need right now so badly in this climate that we are in, or we can harm, and the harming begins with us, and then in turn spread that. So I ask you, for all of you that are on here, take a moment in that chat and please let me know when the last time you provided yourself some self-compassion, when you totally looked at yourself and said, I am amazing and I love myself. Please share. That self-compassion stops the labeling, and it stops all those the nasty words that we can do to ourselves. We have the ability to let go of the negativity and the definitions and all of those labelings that we place upon ourselves. But I'm going to tell you, work needs to be done, and it needs to be daily work. Whether we go into meditation, whether we turn to a higher power and pray, whether we're going outside and going on walks, scriptures, journaling, all of that needs to be done. By the way, that's self-care, and that's daily self-care. Needs to be done on a daily basis to help keep us strong. And belonging to a group like this, with an amazing, beautiful leader, Beatrice, that she is having the group and tribe of women to turn to. Because we cannot do this alone. We need support. We need the help. We need to be around women that are going through this, experiencing things, help us, be there for us, lift us up, have our back, and get us going. We need that. So self-compassion helps us stop telling those crazy stories that we like to tell ourselves in our heads. And a part of this story can be a self-discipline. And we need more self-compassion, self-love. Love is the miracle cure that is a power in the present moment and not just an attitude. We need rituals, routines, dialogues for ourselves. And the key isn't being harder on ourselves. The key is being gentler with ourselves. So one of the things I was reading the other day, one of the many books that I'm reading, this female author made a comment of, it's interesting, all women go through this, and it's like we're lining up for this trophy. And here's the trophy. I'm going to look on my notes here. I want to make sure I get her words right. The trophy is the beat up trophy. The trophy is, again, I'm going to hold on here. I'm going to go back because I really want to get these words right. I really, truly want to get these words right by her. Her name is Glennon Doyle. And it's about accepting ourselves, she says. And it's like we're all striving for the trophy of lack, the trophy of not doing enough, the trophy of horribleness. And who wants that trophy? Ladies, who wants that trophy? I am not living for a trophy. I'm living to go deeper with myself so I, in turn, can help inspire and empower other women. And every time I inspire and empower other women, I want you all to know, each and every one of you, inspire and empower me. So I would like to pose out there a compassion challenge. So this compassion challenge is, words have a ton of power, is changing up one word moving forward. Maybe it's an I can't to I can. Maybe it's I hate broccoli, instead I don't like broccoli. Just changing one word. And asking yourself, why am I doing this to myself? My children need me. My society needs me. People need me. The other question is for this compassion challenge is, what is it I truly want and need? What is it that I truly want and what is it that I need? And then have that dialogue with yourself. And again, the dialogue could be journaling. Maybe it's a book you're reading and you're writing inside the book. Maybe it's a meditation or prayer. Maybe it's reaching out to a very dear friend. But having that dialogue. And the other thing is practice, by the way, ladies. Practice, practice, practice. We never get to perfect. This is an ongoing daily thing of practice, turning into ourselves. One of the things I like to do is I like to move. I like to move. I will turn on some music. I will dance around the house. I will get outside, fresh air. I don't have children. My children are 2 dogs. So I make sure I get out and I play with them, and I'll take a break and I'll go out and I'll love on them because they are like my children. Meditation, I want to talk a little bit about here. Meditation has all sorts of ways of how you, should be meditating. And those shoulds, again, are those judgments that we place on ourselves. Meditation, again, can be any way you want meditation to be. For an example, maybe waking up in the morning before the children get up, and you have that glass of water, that cup of tea, that cup of coffee, and you just sit quietly for 5 minutes. Meditation. Meditation is something happens throughout the day, and you feel the need to stop, and you stop, and you go into prayer, and you have a conversation with your higher power. For me, it's God. Meditation is going in and having this simple dialogue with yourself. I am worthy. I am beautiful. And I am amazing. I'm a miraculous child of God. No other way. Having those dialogues with yourself. I'm going to come back around here because what we think is what we believe is how I began. Then those become our actions. Ladies, really feel into this. What we think is what we believe. Then those become our actions. So if we believe we are not worthy, will we show up with worth? If we believe we have very low confidence, how do you think you're going to show up? What we think is what we believe, when actually our emotions, our heart, is what our true essence of power is. Right back how I began with this speech. We need to let go of old beliefs that trying harder, being better, and being perfect, coming into this very moment and looking around and going, I have done some amazing things, and I am amazing. So I want to swing back around here, and for those of you who are on this live, if you could please provide in the chat some of the things that you do for yourself for self-care. When your inner critic, when that mindset starts chiming up, what do you all do? What are some of the things that you do and you make work for yourself? I'm going to scroll down here. Meditation is having a dialogue with yourself. Yes, I agree with you, Beatrice. And meditation is also time to have a dialogue with our higher power. Absolutely. What else, ladies, on here do we do? For that self-compassion, to strengthen that confidence, so that inner critic does not take you down, so that mindset does not shift you in a direction you do not want to be in. And Beatrice, yes, you said, we need written dialogue for ourselves. We do. Journaling is really good. Having a book. A lot of times when I'm reading books, I'm writing inside of there going, oh my gosh, yes, yes. Piece of paper and a pencil is all you need. So again, ladies, I see a couple more. Tell yourself how amazing you are. Yes, Victoria, absolutely. Anyone else before I start swinging this all back around want to add any more comments on here? What is the first thing you all are going to do to take yourself to that next level of that self-compassion, so your mindset doesn't go down the wrong direction that you so choose to not want it to go to. Yes, Beatrice, meditation is also a time to have a dialogue with higher power, with God. Absolutely. I still haven't found what works for me. It's been so hard. Vasti, yes. Here's one of the things that I do when I'm working with clients is try one thing, and don't expect that one thing to change for you overnight. It takes time. As we're changing up old habits and letting go of old beliefs, it takes time. So maybe it's I am positive affirmation statements. I am beautiful. I am amazing. Writing them down, getting them around you. We're very visual people. And see how that feels for a while. And if it doesn't fit after trying that for a week or two, then maybe it's a form of meditation, Vasti. But do the meditation on your terms. Meditation works differently for everybody. I love having dialogues with myself. I also love having some good cries. Crying is very cleansing. I don't love allowing my anxiety come up. And that's when I know something is off. You're welcome, Vasti, by the way. And I would love for you, I am wonderfully and beautifully made. Indeed, Beatrice, you are. Vasti, I would love, please, I would love for you to let me know in any other way how I can be of support to you as you start implementing these self-compassion, self-care things for yourself. Connect with me on social media and touch base, because you will find what works for you. So let me share what I do. It's a little different every day for me, but I have 3 books that have daily scriptures in that 2 of my books, I'm on year 3. I close it, open right back up on January 1. I do those every day. I have a colored pencil that I write in. I write messages in. Then I might do a couple deep breaths. I finish my cup of coffee. I get my glass of water. And then I'm either going to get dressed because I'm going to get outside and get some fresh air. Or I will lay down and go into a 5-minute guided, in my ear, guided meditation to calm and relax me before I tackle the day. So Vesti, these are some examples that for you to try. I'm a big proponent of writing out. And Beatrice just wrote, I am wonderfully and beautifully made. That's a positive, I am power-filled affirmation statement. And I'm a proponent of writing them down and getting them around so you see them as we're changing up old beliefs. So Vesti, please reach out to me. I'd love to be of support for you. So ladies, I want to swing back around here. And I want to thank you all for being here today. And I am also going to say this, and not because she invited me to be here today, and not because she is here, but Beatrice is one heck of an amazing woman and an amazing leader, and wants nothing but the best for all women, especially all of you women in this group that she has built and led. I know she is there for you. She prays for all of you. She is amazing. Reach out. One of the biggest things that our inner critic can do is silence us and keep us quiet, and then we start feeling alone. And we are not alone. We are all miraculous. We are all different, but we all do a similar walk. We need to connect. We need to talk. So again, our thoughts become our beliefs, in turn go into our actions. So what thoughts, one thought, one word can you begin to change up for your self-compassion and your self-care so your mindset does not keep you back, steal your confidence, joy, your miraculous beauty? I ask you just one thing. And I want to thank you all Thank you all for being here today and giving me this beautiful opportunity. And I want to give a high five to Beatrice, who we were doing everything to get this technology going straight and well, and we're here. It worked. It's not quite how it worked out, but it doesn't matter. Women can really shift and make things happen, but we have to shift and make things happen with ourselves first. So ladies, go out there. Make it that miraculous day that was given to you and step into that miraculous, beautiful being that you are. Thank you.